probably get going, because I know our fourth is going to be like an hour late, right?
Yeah.
He said he could only attend an hour.
Is he coming
Right.
the last hour, or is he an hour late?
About an hour into the session.
Yeah, which I assume means he's going to come in at from an hour from now or so. But we'll see, I guess. So,
Hi, Mary.
yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Who's Varric?
The Midnight Pyre guy.
Oh, is that who this is?
Yeah.
Varric Firesworn.
Oh no, never mind. There's Varric and then there's Bellic. I don't know who
Yeah,
Varric
I don't know. I have a Varric here, but I can't find my notes on him. Oh, well, whatever. So it is the, let's see, session 174, Splitlanders, Whispers of the Shadowlord. It would be Alan's turn, but he's not here, so Glenn, you would be next in line.
I mean, Melon's gonna be here.
Yeah, but he can't take notes on the first hour because he's not here. So it would be you, then Estrella, then Uslag. Uslag is the previous scribe, but
Sorry. Yeah, you're on your own.
Alright, are you able to do it?
Yeah.
Alright. And Uslag, as the previous scribe, do you want to walk us through the events of last time?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the abridged version of the journal because I got a little carried away.
Sure.
Had a lot of thoughts, but yeah, so I'm just gonna do the abridged version, so it might not be might not read as well, but it'll get the information across. So, part 1, in which the Splitlanders finish off from troll giants, Uslag and Estrella get a death curse, and the group makes it to Aldrin's Watch. The only detail here is the death curse that the troll giants released. Let's skip over the rest. Part 2, in which the group meets Una and Evel of the Suntooth clan and Velik Davalis of the Midnight Pyre. Stories are shared. Glenn proposes a concert. We specifically talked to Una, who was the de facto leader of the Suntooth clan at the moment. We shared with her news of the troll giants and mentioned Futukora, which caused a stir among the Shatterkai. Specifically, one stepped forward and introduced himself as Velik Davalis. He told us he knew Futukora as a powerful shadowmancer in the Children of Shadow, which we already knew, but it's good that they know we've seen her around. He asked us what our business here was, and we told him we were here to see Rune, and he told us that we could find her at the Twilight's Edge Sanctuary. At that point, Evel ran in. Evel is Uslag's old friend from the tribe, and had traveled with them for some time in Char. And she offered to join them again and wished to help keep Uslag safe, which Glenn found rather funny. Uslag gave him a reproachful look, and he decided he should probably propose a concert for the whole tribe at that point. And Evel suggested the concert be in the Twilight's Edge Sanctuary, along with the servants, where the tribe was, along with the servants of the Raven Queen. Malin had some thoughts on that, and the Splitlanders before, not having had, deals with gods, all that stuff. Estrella quickly reminded him that this particular god was not a fan of wanton destruction. Still, Uslag did feel a little like a hypocrite, maybe, in that moment. Velik Davalis wished to know more about what the Splitlanders did for the Raven Queen in order to get Uslag back. She told him how they cleared the sanctuary and the connected temple of some powerful entities, but not a whole lot of details. Part 3, in which the group goes to the Twilight's Edge Sanctuary in the Void and meets more of Uslag's tribe, and in which Glenn proves quite popular among the barbarians. Estrella and Eli recorded the teleportation circle in the sanctuary before we got there. And once we were there, we found Freyr, a half-orc monk of the Ascendant Dragon, and a member of the Suntooth clan who had left when Uslog was young, returned when she heard what had happened to the tribe. And without her, it would have been really difficult to bring Uslog back. So they caught up with her, and Uslog told some tales. Glenn played some music to accompany them, and that drew the attention of 3 women of the tribe who I've decided to name Rhea, Birgit, and Helgi, because they needed names, because they've got quite the personality. They were quite taken with Glenn, but no one had seen Rune. So Uslog went to search the alchemy lab with Estrella, and they found her there. After accidentally ruining Rune's experiment, Uslog introduced her to Estrella, and they began to share some information. They shared information about the hollow points. I think they discussed more teleportation circles that Rune might know of. They discussed Xeris and Quince and how Rune felt guilty about how Xeris was treated while he was possessed by Ivok for the second time. But Uslog expressed that they didn't really know where he was at this point. They had last seen him in Tyvanis. Rune interrupted at some point when she noticed that Uslog and Estrella were under a curse, which they had meant to get taken care of once we got here, but Glenn got distracted by barbarians. So he came in at that point and, took care of it, after which those barbarians came in again and, decided they needed to continue their conversation from them. Glenn whispered something to them, which she didn't hear, and they said something to her about hogging all the good ones. Uslug was confused. End of story. They finished sharing information with Rune and told her that they were going to need her help with something, and a couple other things that I think I meant to tell Rune that we didn't get around to, but I'm going to make sure to do that. We did some downtime activities before the concert. Glenn took some pale coin for some research back at the watch, and Estrella copied the teleportation circles from Rune, I think. Part 4 was the concert, in which the tribe moshes and warns the fallen, and Malin recovers an unsettling memory. There was Uslog's theme song, there were some ragers, there was a ballad for Arapel, which incited a chant for the fallen. The chanting sparked a memory from Malin, in which he heard chanting, saw blood on his hands, and heard someone say, "Don't do this, Malifor," to which he replied, "I must." He told Diddy all about it, but I don't think any of us noticed. And it was a very emotional concert for Uslog. They did a lot of, calling the names of the fallen and all that stuff. I think that's. Glenn was whisked away at the end by some of the tribe, and I think that's where we ended pretty much.
All right. Thank you for that recap.
Add a character real quick. I wasn't able to record this just because I was in a super janky setup last week. I think you said that for my project to potentially gain permanence in my magic mansion, I had 3 studies or 3. I can't remember what you called it.
Lore.
Lore. That's okay. 3 lore. That's what it is. 3 pieces of lore.
Yeah, along with the essence. It was a lot easier to research if you're using the essence. Otherwise, it might take a good deal more.
And I can still collect the lore without deciding right now if we're going to use the essence on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Okay.
You can collect lore on the Magnificent Mansion, and then it will take less if you're able to, if you want to use the essence. So you can just use the 3 and the essence if you want to do it.
Oh, so the 3 I have would be enough if I use the essence?
Yes. Right now. Do you have any lore right now?
I remember we were doing down. You said we were doing downtime, and I said I was going to do for that. And you said I got was able to get 3 pieces of.
Did we do a week?
I think we were planning on spending some time here.
Yeah,
We were planning on passing a week, but I don't know if you've
You have
passed it
to
yet.
do a whole
Yeah.
week. You wouldn't get lore
Oh,
from
really?
like 1 day of downtime research.
I could have sworn you said to record 3 pieces of lore. I guess I was wrong.
Do we have?
I think we were planning on staying for a few days.
I don't even see the
anyways.
project in downtime. Is it somewhere else?
No, I wasn't able to record it because I was on a super janky setup.
But he spent like
Oh.
the coin that we gave him, the pale coin, for that recorded.
Yeah, how much did he spend? I forget. I want to record it for him.
Yeah, there's only been 1 day of research, so you definitely wouldn't have finished the project yet. I thought he spent the 300
Yeah,
to
it
get
was
the
300
plus
pale
6.
Yeah, I already subtracted that from the
Yeah,
treasury.
so
All right, I
that
put
would
it
finish
in,
after
put it
5
in the
days.
downtime estimate for you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Alright, well, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it is the 49th of spring at 8 a.m. We passed the night after the concert. What do you all want to do?
Uzlug would like to go see Chris. She's gonna go find where all of the artisans of the tribe like to hang out.
Alright. Do I have a sheet for Kristoff yet?
Maybe not. He's not a fighter or anything. He's a craftsman. So he doesn't really need a sheet.
Are you gonna keep learning smithing, or is he a different kinds of craftsman?
Different. Yeah, this is different. This is just a little silly
Okay.
thing.
Is that Chris? K-R-I-S?
Yes.
Okay, I did make a sheet for him. Alright, so this is the next morning. You would find Chris over in the forge. He says, hello again, Uslog, as he's kind of hammering away.
Oh, did you stay up all
how-
night working again?
So, no, not all night. I mean, it's hard to tell night and day in this place. Not careful, it
That's
just runs, just kind of runs on. All these lights, the magics keep it lit. You have to make a choice to put out the light. He says,
Yeah,
in
it's
any
very different
case,
from
okay.
yeah. I wondered if you could help me fix something.
Yes, of course. When have I refused to fix a piece of your broken armor or weapon?
Oh, it's not armor this time, actually. She digs in her bag and she finds a very broken pan flute that she's had at the bottom of her bag for a long, long time.
This is an instrument.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
think you can fix it?
he takes a look. What is it made of? Is it like bent?
I mean,
How's
yeah,
it
it's like-
broken?
Probably like strips of leather and that maybe have worn off, or the like pipes of the pan flute have probably been, I don't know, dented or something.
Says, well, I can certainly try. You know, I do a little bit of everything when it comes to repairs, but can't guarantee it. Still, I'm probably the only one in the tribe who might get it right.
Thanks. Lod might be able to help too if he's around. I know he's got a little bit of skill with that. Well,
Says, yeah, maybe. He's often in the chapel if you want to go look for him. But I'll take a look at it and see what I can do.
okay. Thanks, Chris. Hope
All
you're doing well.
Says, yeah, it's, strangely enough, this place has been more relaxing than the plains. I mean, with all that was going on, it truly is a sanctuary of sorts. Though
Yeah,
I almost
mean,
feel like
we're-
I've run away from the real world a little.
Indeed, yeah. The walls not used to those. That took some getting used to.
Says
For
the
me.
walls, the darkness staring off into the void. This is it's almost unreal, this place. He says, and the angels, the celestials that are constantly coming and going are unsettling. He says, I was never a worshiper of the Raven Queen. Her servants continue to unsettle me a bit.
Me too. Do they leave the chapel ever?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, there's some that are in the chapel, but mostly they have come to bring prisoners to the downstairs. He says they're the cages, but you know those halls lead to a extra-dimensional prison, right?
Yeah, that's what my old group cleared out, correct? I don't think I've been in there myself.
Says I believe so, but yeah, apparently they still use it to lock up certain villains. I guess a lot of the children of Shadow and some who die are brought there. Their souls meant to remain captive.
Oh,
It seems a
I
bit
mean, I guess
harsh.
that makes, yeah, that's
He says, but every now and then I see the angels bringing folk through.
Yeah, I think that's what they meant when they talked about locking up Xeris. I'm glad that wasn't his fate.
Says now, well, they've locked up plenty others. Not even sure where the angels come from. I don't think there's any portals in here. Says, well, in any case, yeah, I mean that's the only really strange thing I've seen is those angels coming and going. Though they rarely interact with us.
Yeah, I haven't bumped into one myself, and yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, and then the Shadowfell.
He says, yep, our new home, I guess. At least until
For now.
Una decides for us to go back.
Yeah, I hope that can be sooner rather than later.
He says, you are actually at least somewhat high on the hierarchy in this clan. Maybe it's time you took up some leadership reins. Maybe you could lead us back into the plains.
We don't work like those nobles and the Empire. You're not born into that.
Says not born in, but you do have a good head on your shoulders. The elders of the clan have to be wise and be experienced in battle. I know you're young, but you have seen a lot in the few years you've been around.
Yeah, Yasuzla kind of nods a little bit, but doesn't seem convinced.
Because all I know is Uno is she could use your help if that's the route that you wish to go. I know she carries a lot on her shoulders these days with the death of all the elders.
Yeah.
She could use the help.
We are here to help, so we'll do what we can. I don't make any promises, but
he nods.
Yeah.
He says, well,
however I can.
You should do what you think is best, as usual.
Yeah. Right. I'll let you get back to your crafting.
He says, yep, I'll see if I can fix this for you.
Thanks. It would mean a lot.
He says, hey, who's that old lady that came in with you?
Oh, Estrella.
Yeah, she's she a barbarian? She seems kind of strong.
I wouldn't be surprised. She's been full of surprises so far. But no, she seems more of the magic sort. I know it's druid and not the type of druids we're used to.
As well, I'm just curious. We don't see too many new humans around here.
Well, I'll make sure to introduce you to her.
He laughs. He says, "Sure. Next time she's around, I'll say hi."
Slug gives him a bit of a wink.
He turns a little red and says, "Get out of here."
All right, she'll saunter off. Okay.
All right.
That's it. Sorry.
What about Estrella or Glenn? Like, do you have any RP you want to do?
No,
Glenn
not
stepped out.
really. I think I would resummon Schlurp, and now that we're not out on the road, Schlurp would make himself like visible to everyone. So there's a little gelatinous familiar putzing around the sanctuary here, probably stealing treats occasionally, like from the kitchen.
Nice.
All right.
But yeah, I think I'd probably just hang out with Rune and watch her experiments, and then work on my potion.
All right. So Glenn.
He said he'll be back in a few. I'm not sure if
Oh,
he's
did he
back yet.
step away?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask him about his evening.
Oh.
Now that I have a comprehensive list of people in your tribe.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably more milling about. Those were just kind of the ones that she's probably closest with, I'm guessing. So if you ever need to just pull one out of thin air, that's fine.
Yeah, Evel was the PC who played then had to leave, right?
Evel was my sidekick for a little while.
Oh, Evel was your
Char.
sidekick.
Yeah.
I think that was Xylia, maybe.
Xylia.
Yeah,
I forgot about Xylia. Yeah.
yeah.
Xylia, but she had disappeared when she was a kid, I think. Like Usopp hadn't seen her since they were kids.
Yeah, I didn't see her on the list, but I still have her.
Yeah, that's why I like she was the PC, like so she came in after that list was made, so I totally forgot to put her on that. But yeah,
I still have her. Could
yeah.
you could you give Evel a picture for some reason?
Oh yeah, I have one on the Discord actually.
You have control of her, so you should just be able to set her picture.
All
Her
right,
picture seems to be broken.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
give
I think...
you can give Xylia one too if you want, and any of the people.
Yeah, I've been on a Photor kick, so.
I think I gave you control. They should all be in the Twilight Sanctuary.
Okay.
You should have control of all their sheets. And actually, here, I'm gonna turn on adding characters. So if you want to add more, you can.
Okay.
I usually have it turned off, but I'd rather, like, if you want to add people.
Can we all generate some barbarians?
Well, yeah, I can't only turn it on for some of you.
Oh, right. No, I didn't mean the setting. I just meant in general. It'd be funny if we all contribute to the barbarian tribe.
That'd be up to Uslog. That's kind of her thing, but.
Right. Just like barbarians just sprouting out of nowhere, just like everywhere.
Who's the smith you went and talked to? Does he have a picture?
Not yet.
I would love to generate one. He's a rotund man with like a gray beard that's like intricately braided, and he just has like like the crinkles in his eyes, like looks like he laughs a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be able to add characters, and you should be able to edit those that are on there. Are you there, Glenn? Might still be away. All right, well, I mean, I was going to see what you guys want to do. You could pass time, you could move on to something else. I mean, you don't have a huge, like, time crunch on you, so you could start doing some downtime stuff for a bit. The only pressing matter that you have is just kind of, like I've said before, the general, children of Shadow and
gaining power and getting in contact with
Malik.
With Xerxes, so that's what Rune is going to help us with. So.
Yeah, but Xerxes, like, getting in touch with Xerxes wasn't, like, time sensitive. It's just something you have to do.
Right. So I guess when we're done with our downtime week, maybe we could ask Rune to accompany us back to the Shadowfell and contact Xerxes for us.
So you do want to pass 4 more days here?
Yeah,
I mean-
yeah, I think we could. Because that we could go back and forth like between the watch and everything. So we could like one of the days we could talk, try to
Sure.
get in
Yeah.
touch.
No, I mean, I started the 5-day project because I think that Glenn wanted to do his 5-day research, but that was my
Yeah,
impression.
so
But I
it's
guess
a
it
little
doesn't matter to me. We don't have to.
Well, it's up to you all. You could
I-
spend a couple weeks here if you
Let's
want.
pass it. Because we only have to like have 8 hours a day for the downtime. So technically, we could do other role play. We could go between Alden's Watch and the Sanctuary. Like, yeah,
All right.
I think that's fun.
Well, let me see
Do some more
about.
concerts, some reveling, diminish their wine and ale supply.
Yeah, I think there's a few things.
All right,
here.
let me work on passing 5 days. Just let me know if during that time you are doing any. Well, it would be 4 days now.
Yeah.
But let me know if you are wanting to RP or interact during that time or do anything in particular.
Slug would probably do some sparring with Ivor at some point. Just
Is Ivor here?
Yeah.
Ivor, now, there was an actual character, I believe, named Ivor in this game, like a PC.
was there?
Let me double check. Maybe there wasn't. I might be thinking of a different
Yeah, I'm
game.
not remembering one. I'm
Ivor
trying to
was
think
one
of all
of
the people.
Ian's. Ivor was one of Ian's, wasn't it?
Yes, but it
Oh,
might have
but
been
not in this
a different game.
But I don't think it was in this game.
Yeah,
'cause
definitely not.
Yeah.
He was what was his name in this game?
Glenn Gale or something?
Yeah.
No, it looked like a. It was
Yeah, he was
Adelaide's.
only there for like a
Yeah,
couple sessions,
yeah,
few sessions.
yeah.
All right, well. All right.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
I vaguely remember Ivor, but I don't remember which game he was in.
Just trying to find. Working on the
He
Evil's
died, didn't
token.
he? I think he might be.
Yeah, he
in-
did. Yeah, he died.
Was it Lark?
Lark, yeah. That was it. Let's do. Okay, I think Evel's token is good. Uslug would be a little hesitant to take Evel with them. I guess I could RP that at some point, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're talking downtime stuff, Glenn.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask Glenn, from last night, what were your intentions with those barbarian ladies you ran off with? You looking for love?
You sound like a stern.
I mean, not looking for love, so I'm definitely not staying here. But he would definitely be looking for fun.
All right.
He would be upfront about that, though. Like he was warned.
Give me a performance check.
Alright, that's fair. Let's see. See, this is gonna be the time I roll a 1. It'll be embarrassing.
Give me a con save.
No. I think I'm actually decent at con saves, but okay, let's see.
See if he comes away with broken ribs.
Reminds me of Snoo.
Death by Snoo. Alright, so you would be kind of hanging out, talking, playing probably a couple of instruments, storytelling a bit. There would be some alcohol involved, though you keep your cool pretty well. Give me one more performance check. And remind me, what's the lowest you could roll on a persuasion?
Persuasion, lowest second roll is 25.
Alright, well, give me a performance and then one more persuasion check. Alright. So, yeah, you hang out with a bunch of barbarian ladies, waking up with 4 of them, pretty much all the ones you left with. Just like stirring in bed in the morning, like very, very tired, kind of like maybe a little hungover from the evening, but not too bad. You had quite the evening.
Alright.
So what are you gonna do next day?
Next day, I guess he would he'd get up and respectfully say his goodbyes and get dressed and go out to find the rest of everybody. Especially he's specifically looking for Uslag.
Alright, well, you'd probably find Uslag in the kitchen, maybe eating breakfast with some of her tribe, some of the clan.
Okay. Morning, Uslag.
Hi. Wow, you look terrible.
There's
Well,
some
that's
snickers
not
from
nice.
your friends. One of them says, yeah, terrible. From what I hear, he spent the night with Sasha and some of her friends.
Sasha. Oh, that's a new name for me. I'm gonna write that one down.
A gentleman never kisses and tells.
Yeah,
She
Uslag just
laughs.
tries to just act disinterested and like, oh, interesting. What do you need?
I have a favor to ask.
Okay. Should step out, I guess.
I kind of thinks for a second, like taps his foot while he's thinking of the words. I don't like to rely on others in my profession and just in my life. I've found really the only person who can count on truly is yourself. And I've begun to, I feel like, soften on that stance the longer I've been with you all. Even though I'm a little disappointed in Malin right now, he's still overall a good role model. And you, he sighs, I was hoping in your free time you could help me train with the sword.
Uslag just kind of blinks. But you're a bard. You don't need a sword. She just looks a little confused. You got me and Malin. I know what this is what you just said. But yeah, why do you? Okay.
I can't always count on you and Malin be there for me. There's something I need to do, and I don't think words are going to help me achieve it. I've been going down this path for long enough, and it still hasn't. Nothing's changed. I still haven't gotten what I want. And watching you and Malin has made me realize maybe I've gone about this the wrong way. Maybe I thought what was my strength was actually my weakness. I think it's time. I think I've realized to get what I want, I may need to pick up the sword myself and go and get it. And I need to be better than I am right now to do that.
It's very cryptic. I have a lot of questions, but yes, I can help you train with the sword.
He sighs a little bit. I mean, I'm not. I don't mean to be cryptic. I mean, it's not a big secret. I mean, if you really want to know, I don't mind telling you. I never meant to.
You don't have to. It's fine. But if we're here, and we're your friends, so it sounds like you've got a lot of stuff that you're dealing with. So we're not going to force you, but if you would like to talk. Yeah. I'm not always the best. I don't always get everything, but I can try. You know.
When the time comes, I'll probably ask for your help, and I would definitely let you know before then. I wouldn't expect you to help me without knowing the reason why.
Yep. I'd be right there. So yeah. Swords, huh? You have one?
I do. He takes from his hidden behind his cloak a rapier. I used to be fairly decent with the sword, but my talents for other things were quickly noticed, and I was moved to covert ops. But I originally did just join the military for my kingdom and started as a grunt like everyone else.
Well, then it shouldn't be too hard to pick back up. Probably won't need to start you out on like the beginner training, but yeah.
Do you know which side is the pointy end?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask first. Yeah. Whenever you want to get started.
He nods. Well, it just depends on when you have free time. I don't want to inconvenience you from things you already have plans for.
Oh yeah, I was just probably going to be bored and do some sparring stuff anyway, so yeah. Trying to avoid those creepy celestials, so.
Quirks and eyebrows, celestials.
Yeah, I haven't seen any yet, but Chris said that they do wander around here, so if you see something akin to a dark angel, you're not crazy. They're actually here.
Oh, this place just keeps on getting better.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Well, if you have time, then I wouldn't mind getting started.
All right, that's all you have to say. She's off. Let's go.
He sighs and he's like,
Drops her oatmeal or whatever.
yeah, he's thinking to himself, is like, I'm probably gonna regret this, but I just gotta hold on and survive.
Oh yeah, because he's probably not in very good shape right now. But yeah, that
Yeah, so Glenn and Uslag would go off to train.
yep. So give him some
Shutdown isn't
pointers.
here.
I know. Missing all the fun.
Give me a second. I'm still working on your 4 days of downtime.
Yeah, so I guess Uslag wouldn't really focus on smithing during this. She would be training Glenn. That would be the downtime.
Yeah,
Or would that
well,
just
what
be
are
like
you
extra?
training Glenn for exactly?
How to use a sword.
Is this
Or
for
how to
your... Is this for just RP?
Kind of. I mean, I talked to you a little bit out of character about what my goal is, but
Yeah.
that's more like, this is more, I guess, roleplay than mechanical.
Yeah, she doesn't actually have to do training for you. You could kind of pick it up on your own as you were going. But you certainly can do that if you want for RP reasons. So are you going to still be doing your research every day?
Yeah, I would hopefully find time to do both. I mean, I'm not going to train the sword all day.
So why don't...
Yeah.
Like,
So you don't have to
Uslag's also
spend
part of the
downtime
kit.
on that Uslag. You could just say you're doing that in your free time.
Okay.
So if you want to keep learning your, your smithing, you can absolutely do that.
Well, I imagine I won't last more than like an hour or two a day because Uslag's going to kick my ass.
Yeah. She probably wouldn't even start off with sparring with you at all. She would probably give you there's this, I actually have to find the video of it, but there's this training exercise with a stick that you tie to a string, and when you hit it, the stick spins around and you're supposed to try to hit the stick. That's probably what
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You have to earn the sparring.
Like dexterity drills or
Yeah.
precision drills.
Yeah. She would be like, no. You don't get to spar yet.
And you said you had something you were working on as well, Estrella? Because we had decided we're just going to pass another 4 days here.
Yeah, she's brewing a potion. She spent the gold and started it the previous day.
Okay.
I also wanted to make sure to share with Rune the information about the whole Zatian souls being corrupted and the Alpha Crystal and Hollow Hand, that whole thing. So yeah, at some point Uslag would do that as well. Maybe with Estrella in tow because, knowledge.
Yeah. Alright, so time is passing. I'll say during maybe 2 days in, I'll say Estrella is kind of in the kitchen with Glenn, and you hear heavy footsteps coming from the hallway. And as you turn to look, there is a very tall, 7-foot woman who passes by. With these huge dark wings kind of folded over her back and this large helmet with skulls carved on it. Scythe on her back as well. I don't think up till now you haven't seen any of them here. Although obviously Uslag encountered these in the prison. But yeah, she just walks past, doesn't seem to take much note of you, doesn't even look towards you. Almost as if she's busy with something. Definitely acting like she belongs here. Do either of you want to do anything? Looks like she's heading south through the stronghold.
She just walked into the kitchen?
She walked past the kitchen. So basically, you guys were kind of sitting in the kitchen here, and she came down this way and then went to the west. So you just kind of notice her walking down the hallway.
Well, I'm glad Uthlag gave us a heads up on that. I would have been rather startled, I think.
He would get up and peek out the door. So she's okay. So we're in the
You're in the kitchen here.
okay,
Kinda just
and we
eating.
see her walk down the hallway to the west. Okay.
Yeah, so she's kind of moving this way.
Okay. Cool. Glenn would definitely get up and kind of like peek his head out the door and say, "Excuse me, are you one of them angels or like celestials?"
She would just keep walking. Either she didn't hear you or she ignored you.
Oh, he's following. Yeah, he's definitely following.
Alright, what about Estrella? Are you doing anything, or are you just finishing your breakfast?
I'm gonna follow just to see this interaction.
Yeah, because he turns back like, "Estrella, I think that's an angel."
Alright, so you are following after her. I assume, like, just rushing to catch up.
Yeah, I don't want to like be fast enough to be like misconstrued as aggressive though. Like I'm probably like fast walking to catch up to her, not like rushing or like running, because I don't want to seem aggressive. I just kind of like put my hand up while like quick walking after her. "Excuse me, Miss Angel."
So you come up behind this very kind of tall, dark, angelic woman who will stop and turn towards you, just dead silent as if expecting you to say something.
"Hey, pleasure to meet you. My name is Glenn Whisperwind. I've never met an angel before, and I saw you walking around, so I figured I would come say hello. Sorry if I'm interrupting something important."
She says, "I am on my way to the prison, mortal. I have important business to undertake for the Lady of Death, the Raven Queen.
Oh shit.
What is it that you seek from me?"
I don't really, I guess, speak anything. Do you mind me asking what kind of business down in the prison? Maybe we could help.
She says, "The prison contains both souls and some of the living who are imprisoned in stasis. Those who have done particularly heinous crimes against the Raven Queen or against life itself in some way. She says, I do not need any help for my business."
Out of character, Uslog is attached to the Raven Queen, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah. In a sense. I mean, there's no like mechanical attachment or anything. But
Okay.
She's kind of, that's where she gets her radiant energy from, right? Didn't she
Okay.
become a zealot barb?
Yeah.
Yeah, so her divine resurrection resulted in her becoming kind of like a warrior of the Raven Queen.
Oh, a close friend of mine is I guess a warrior of the Raven Queen. Her name is Uslog. Do you know her by chance?
She says Uslog was chosen by her Lady Death to be an avatar of her will. We are all familiar with her and her prowess in battle.
And he's like, "Well, I suppose you don't know me yet. Then that's a shame. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to change that. But should I go get Uslog? I mean, do you?"
She says, I don't need to speak with Uslog. I need to get to the jail to perform my duties. Was there anything else you needed of me, Glenn?
Would you mind if I had your name?
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
Oh, damn, she does not want to give me her name. Yeah, 125.
She says, I will not give you my true name, as it holds power over me, but you may call me Terenthel.
Oh, of course, I wouldn't expect something like that. But okay, Terenthel. pleasure to meet you. Again, sorry for bothering you while you were on your mission. Just first time I've seen an angel walking around. So,
She says, "No bother, Glenn, Whisperwind. Your kind is not often exposed to mine. I understand the curiosity."
always glad to learn and meet somebody new. Please continue on your mission. Don't let me stop you any further.
She says, "Very well. Oh, I don't know if," she says, "I don't know if Uslag would be interested, but the prisoner that we have brought today is one that is somewhat, the word be?
Known to her?
I wasn't going to use known. The prisoner is someone relevant to her past. A particularly heinous being known as Remy.
Oh no!
Is that the one that stole your guys' shit?
Yes.
I knew that name was familiar. I think I've heard her mention that name. Let me run and tell her. See if I can get her down there before you do your thing.
She says, "Well, I must be off in any case. Good journeys to you." She'll just continue
Yes.
walking.
He turns to Estrella. Estrella, we gotta find Usla.
Where do we? If I guess it depends on what time of day, but like if we think she's in the smith or
Yeah,
the kitchen
it's
or whatever,
most
I guess
likely.
we'd go.
She would be usually either smithing or sparring with anyone in the
Yeah,
tribe.
I figure we would go check the places we expect you to be.
Yeah.
Glenn just running through the checking. Usla! You're just calling it, just
I would
screaming at her name.
I would then slurp one way and I'd go another, and Glenn would be another.
She's gonna think that there's some like attack going on or something.
So you're probably in training with what's his
Sparring
name?
with Ivor, maybe.
Who?
Ivor might be.
Oh, Ivor.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
So you're probably training with Ivor when you hear your name being called in the hallway.
Shit, that sounds urgent. She'll just grab her sword and run out. See you later, Ivor.
Nods.
She just like rushes out. What's happening?
Usla, there's a angel. I found an angel walking through a place.
Yes, I told you about those.
And it's big lady. He kind of he makes like a hand gesture, like a foot above him, like tall lady. And he's like he's like breathing between. He's like tall lady, angel, big wings. And he tries to emphasize with his hands, Remy.
Did you just say Remy?
Prisoner. Prisoner. She's angel. Execute bad people. Remy.
I've gotta go see that little shit right now.
And he nods. And prisoner. Prison.
Okay. Did you
And
just... She hands
kinda
him a water skin.
he takes a step and he kind of half jogs with her.
Alright, so you're heading to the prison area?
Yeah, Uslog's walking with purpose, but yeah, she's just
Alright,
Yeah.
so when you get to the prison area, there is an extremely tall angel. This one stands at about probably 9 to 10 feet.
Holy shit.
With two curved, sharp blades in his hands. He's just kind of standing there stoically at the entrance to the prison. He just doesn't say anything as you approach.
I would like to enter the prison, please.
Says you are permitted, Uslog, though your friends are not.
Well, can I change that somehow? She just kind of like looks a little bit put out.
After the events of the prison, the Raven Queen has set much stricter guard and access rules. We've been keeping an eye on things in your absence. Rather than burden your tribe or your clan with the upkeep of this area, the Raven Queen has set us to the task. Why is it that you wish to enter, and why do you wish your friends to come with you?
It's a minor matter of vengeance. I feel like that might be appreciated.
He says, well, the Raven Queen is not a vengeful god. We believe in balance and service, ferrying those to the afterlife that have lost their way.
Well, this one has certainly lost his way.
He kind of regards you and says, which prisoner are you looking to see?
Remy.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. I always love when Uslug gets to do these. Right.
Says, well, as I said, if you wish to see this Remy, you may enter, but your friends are not known to the Raven Queen. They are not allowed to access her areas.
Estrella
Prison.
would have come up behind by this point. She's standing a little ways back, and she'd be like, well, go, Uslog. Just tell us whatever you learn. I want to hear it all. She just kind of gestures her forward.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I'll go on my own. I guess
Alright.
it is just a personal matter anyway, at this point.
I think we just had Malin enter, right?
Yep.
Wild Malin appeared.
So we're just going through 4 more days of downtime.
Okay.
What was your character doing after the concert?
To be honest, I didn't pick a downtime project, so I didn't really have a.
Well, is there
anything
any RP you want to do during this time?
Not really.
Anyone
Nothing
you're-
specifically.
You're just waiting?
Yeah.
Is there something you want to work on?
I mean, I guess not sure exactly what my options are to work on stuff.
So you should work on stuff that has to do with your strong stats. Like, I think you have high intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So research is a really good one for you. Like, maybe help Glenn with his research project.
Yeah. If you need help, Glenn, I got you.
Like, if you both work on it, then you would both make a roll instead of just Glenn making the roll, because you're more likely to roll higher.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so I'll say that during this time you're helping Glenn with his project. Assuming that's okay with you, Glenn.
Yeah, my actual research project?
Yeah, your mansion research project.
Yeah.
Alright. So Uslog enters the prison area. Which is as lovely as you remember it. You would hear the cries and screams of the imprisoned here as you walk down the halls. Several angels will kind of walk past you as you do. Though this time they're not hostile, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uslog, did she go, like, I know, like, she wasn't here when they were, like, clearing this way out, but did they take her into here at any point after they woke her up?
Yeah, I think it was only Freya that was in here with us.
Yeah, Freya was, so she wouldn't actually have, encountered any of the horrors here that the others experienced. So it'd just be kind of like an empty, spooky place for her that she'd be like, "Ugh."
Yeah. I guess I can use the party token. But yeah, you're walking through this place. You see, like, there's a bunch of cells with people in it, like, staring out at you. Several of them saying, "Please, please let me out." This technically you'd be up here when you came in.
All right.
But yeah, you're not really sure where you're going. What are you gonna do? I'll say you
Follow
came
the
down
sounds
this
of
way.
the screams, I guess.
Yeah, it seems there are several prison areas. None of these people look like the person you are looking for.
Well, what's your name? I should ask the first one.
Says, "I am Benjamin. I don't want to be here anymore. I've been here so long. Please, just let me out."
Just shake her head, like sorry, I can't help you, kind of.
What are they in here for?
They are enemies of the Raven Queen, or those that she has deemed worthy of punishment, I guess. I'm not sure. Slug doesn't really know.
So you just kind of shrug and keep going.
Not really something she can interfere with, is the sense that she got. So, but she does want to know who they are a little bit, I guess.
All right.
I'd be curious about that.
Let me see something. So, are you just walking around? Are you looking for someone in particular?
I'm looking for Remy.
Looking for Remy? All right.
Yeah. I want to know where our stuff is. I don't know what she's gonna do when she sees him. Actually, I don't think she would do what I think she might have done in the past. I think this will go differently than I had imagined.
Well, it's been so long too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she said she was here for a matter of vengeance, but really it's not. She doesn't have that in her heart right now.
All right. Give me a moment to check something. Alright, so obviously you have not been here before. So you are a little bit lost walking around this place. There are angels kind of all over. Again, they just sort of ignore you as you walk past.
Yeah, she does her best to ignore them too. Oh God, I remember all this.
Alright, so you don't find much over here, just more of the angels moving about.
Yeah, she's just like picturing the Splitlanders and Freya just going through all this and wondering like what horrors I guess they told her about most of the stuff, but seems like I missed out on a grand time. She's like muttering to herself as she walks.
So you don't find him in any of the outer cells. Yeah, you don't really recognize any of the people who you're bumping into.
Okay.
But as you head towards a strange cave area, Doesn't seem like it fits with the kind of decor of the rest of this place. You come upon an archway with a shimmering portal and several celestials, one of which is one of those big muscular angels like you saw guarding this place. They seem to be possibly guarding the portal.
Hi. Happened to see a prisoner named Remy around here anywhere?
Hang on a sec. So you're kind of in the middle in this cave area.
Oh, this place was horrifying. Okay.
Quaint.
Yeah.
He says, Remick Malfarian is through the portal. He's being held in the inner sanctum currently.
Why? What's so special about him to the Raven Queen?
He says
Seems
he has been responsible for several horrid things, including his betrayal of your group.
Oh, so it's more than just stealing some stuff from us. I'm glad. That seems a bit of a harsh thing for just to...
He says Remick's sins are widespread. He says he will be judged, and then it will be decided where he is sent to, if anywhere, or he will remain here in this in the purgatory of this place.
He's like just kind of shivers. All right. I'm assuming I have permission to go through the portal.
He says you wish to speak to the prisoner. Why? This does not concern you.
There's some information I would like from him. I know I'm not going to interfere. I don't think that's something that I even have the skills to do. So, I just want to ask him some questions.
He says those who die are now are sent to the judgment and hands of the Raven Queen. What they have or did in life is no longer a concern and should not be a concern to the living. He says, unless you have permission to come speak to the prisoner, to Remick, I cannot let you through, Uslag.
Okay. So, how do I go about getting permission? She's starting to think, like, is this really worth it? It's just stuff.
He says, that I can't tell you. Perhaps a prayer to the Raven Queen, because of how close we are to her realm, maybe she'll answer. And especially you, someone who she favors so highly.
Never really been the praying type, but sure, I'll give it a go. I'll return when I have permission, I guess.
Alright, so you're gonna leave this place?
Yeah, I'm assuming I can't just like pray to her here, like, Raven Queen, hello.
Your friend is like,
Knock, knock.
I'm gonna send Holler up there, real quick.
I mean, you could like just sit in the mud and pray, but you're not sure if she's gonna.
I'm gonna have to have
answer.
someone show me how to like pray. Yeah. I don't.
Well, usually when I talk to my deity, I call him a bozo, and we talk smack to each other.
Yeah, I guess she would. Yeah, she would probably talk to Melon about it, and like you figured out how to talk to a god. Yeah.
Although the last time I talked to Surtur, I didn't. We didn't it didn't end so well.
All right. Well, so a few minutes later, as you all are kind of waiting there, she or Uslag would come back out.
Yeah.
Did you find him? Did you see him?
No.
What's a celestial prison like?
Quaint. To steal Malon's words. Yeah, you weren't missing much. She just like shivered, like kind of shakes as if to like just get that place like off of her. I'm gonna go to the chapel.
All right.
But she'll like go, and then she'll like be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's like, it's not worth it. And then so she's definitely indecisive as she's walking there. Changes her mind maybe like 5 times.
All right. So you head over to the chapel. Currently, there's maybe there's a few barbarians in here, like sitting down and praying. A lot of them have converted to the Raven Queen since you were brought back by her.
A lot of the
your clan.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the clan in general, especially
Finds that
being in this place and seeing the angels, have become more religious.
Oh, she's not sure how she feels about this, but that's a matter for another time, I suppose. Guess she'll like awkwardly walk up to whatever looks like the most important thing in here.
There's the black altar.
That's pretty important. Yeah.
You've seen it before. It's it's kind of the focal point of the room.
All right. She'll go stand at it.
Oh, actually, I wanted to study that, but we gave away the soul crystal, so.
Yeah. Did we use that soul crystal for the tower?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, we're in the Shadowfell. Hopefully, we'll find more. All right. So yeah, she'll stand there for a moment, and like the little raven figurine that she wears on her neck, that is definitely not a holy symbol, but she just has. She'll just like hold that and just be like, "Excuse me, I have some words. I would like to speak with you."
You're talking to your raven necklace?
No, she's holding it like as she's kind of like fidgeting
like
with
you're
it, like,
kind
as
of
she's speaking.
talking.
You gotta be more forceful. You gotta get your.
All right, so yeah, you hold the raven in your hand as you speak.
Yeah, I'd like. Oh, I mean, I'm not sure if I should wait for a response. She's not expecting a response. I would like to have some words with the little shit known as Remy. He's currently in your prison, and I have some questions.
So
and she just like waits.
Kind of sit in silence, or are you kneeling down? Or are you just kind of standing
unless
in front
someone
of the
like
altar?
corrected her on that. She would just be standing there.
Well, you would see everyone else in here either kneeling or sitting, and it's very quiet. No one's really speaking. The other members of your clan, that is.
Okay.
Some of them are in kind of silent prayer. Others are just kind of sitting there. But yeah, you're the only one kind of standing at the head of the room.
All right. She kind of curses to herself and like kneels.
All right, so you kneel down, clutching the raven figurine.
And she would just repeat again what she said.
Alright, so nothing happens for a moment, but a second after, there is a crackle of energy as a portal opens, and a figure steps through.
Oh, shoot.
She says, Uslog, War Raven, you call to us. It's been a long time.
Yeah. What is time to you, anyway? Sorry. She just is like, oh, I said that out loud. So, hi.
Greetings.
Did
She says,
I remember her, right? I've interacted with her before.
You definitely know her from your time with the Raven Queen when you were dead. She is one of the main ferrymen of souls that you know.
Yeah.
One of the avatars of the lady.
Yeah.
So she kind of looks at you for a moment, her like white pupils, and says, "You seek to speak with one of your former companions, who is now under the judgment of the Raven Queen. Yes."
Yeah, it's a. In your eyes, it might be a trivial matter. I wasn't planning on bothering anybody about it, but it seems that I need special permission to speak with him. So I would. I assure you, I don't plan on interfering with the Raven Queen's business. That's not my intention. It's a personal matter.
Zeusslog, you are beloved among the Raven Queen's servants. If you wish to speak to this Remic Malfarian, you will have your audience.
Oh, she seems just kind of. She's never gonna get used to this. He said, "Okay."
She says, just make sure you are going to speak with him for the right reasons.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything drastic, if that's what you mean.
She says, there's not much you can do that is drastic. The living have very little effect over the dead, other than to possibly banish them again. This is his fate is more to be decided by the Raven Queen at this point.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'll get going.
So, yeah, and kind of at this point, like, everyone else in the room is just, like, floored. They're all just very, very much, like, kneeling down and, like, averting their gaze to this strange figure that just appeared out of nowhere. She'll nod and say, you may speak with him at your leisure, and your friends may go with you if they wish. Know that you have free reign of the prison, as you used to. The Raven Queen does not forget her allies.
Thank you. I guess she'll look around at the others and kind of mimic whatever, like, respectful, like, nod or whatever, and try to be more respectful than she has been, because she's realizing she's probably been kind of rude. But yeah,
she'll kind of look around. It's been a while since I've been here. Just as lovely as I remember it. And she'll just kind of start walking away towards the east door, unless you're going to say anything to her.
Yeah. Actually, she would... What happens... Oh, I don't really know. When all this is over, what happens to a servant of the Raven Queen? Their soul.
Says you asking of your own fate.
I suppose. Yeah.
Says you will rejoin her and await your next responsibility. You will help protect the veil, guiding souls into the afterlives that they are owed, the ones that they deserve. He says, not all are judged by the Raven Queen. Mostly we facilitate the spiritual world's continued existence, but some special cases require our people to pass judgment. She says, you're more of a warrior, a sword arm, an executioner. You're not as much of a judge, so you will not have to worry about such things.
That's good, but it's not really what I had hoped.
What did you hope?
Well, I suppose to join my ancestors in their afterlife, but I suppose I had my chance at that, huh?
She says, your ancestors can still be spoken to. You are not banned from seeing them. Quite the contrary. You will have free reign of the spirit world, and to travel between the different paradises. I'm sure you'll meet your ancestors again. She says, however, you will still have some responsibility to the Raven Queen.
Understood.
She just kind of nods matter-of-factly. She says, though, I have a feeling your fate may even go beyond that. The fate of the Zatian are shrouded in mystery. There's much even the gods don't know about them.
So, yeah, there's a few of us here that might have questions about that. But it seems like you know a little bit.
She says, I know very little. The divine is not connected to your people or your fate, not as much as it is to many of the normal inhabitants of Gaian. In any case, I will be around for at least a few hours if you wish to speak more. I'm somewhat good at this type of counseling, if my specialty is needed. We can speak further. She'll put her hand out as if she is going to touch your hand.
Usako would just kind of like freeze and be like, okay.
So you feel a bit strange as her finger touches the back of your hand. Give me a wisdom save, DC 20.
DC, oh shit. Well, at least she's. I mean, I don't know if this is gonna be a bad thing or what, but yeah.
So you feel strangely at peace as she touches you, almost like this warmth emanates from your hand throughout the rest of your body. And you felt better than you felt in a while, just very tranquil. And she'll kind of bow her head slightly and then just walk away.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, she feels a little less
You feel very relaxed. Like I said, much more relaxed than you have in a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's nice.
Alright, so what do you want to do? I assume you're all kind of in the area.
Turn around and just see everyone
like huddled around, like peering
She'd
in.
be like, okay. And like just like dusting that off and just like
Do we see this interaction, or were we just like waiting outside?
I mean, whoever wanted to follow
I mean, you could say you followed her if you want, so it's up to you if you saw that or not. But it's very possible that you followed her in, you know.
Damn. I mean,
she would just continue. She would just kind of walk out of the room.
Damn, that was your interaction with your deity is a hell of a lot better than mine. I'll say that much.
Didn't I tell you it would be?
Yeah, perhaps you deserve better, Melon.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't say it. I say it out loud.
You hear in your mind, the Raven Queen, the joke.
I am curious though. What sort of view on a fellow deity like the Raven Queen is. So I mean, yeah, I message in my head. I am curious though, what your view on her is.
He says, well, the Raven Queen has very little to do with what I stand for. I mean, destruction will cause death, and death is more her purview. Because I guess it would just be kind of it's an understood need that the souls of those who die in the destruction of my followers need to be taken away somewhere. Can't just have Gaian filled with souls that wander. It's like someone in your town who picks up the trash. Necessary job to be done, but I don't have any great respect for the Raven Queen, or any neutral deities for that matter. He says, those who preserve the cycle and the status quo don't understand the need for a purging fire and destruction, maybe a remaking of how such institutions operate. He says maybe we don't need to take the souls anywhere. Maybe it would be better if they were all just stuck within Gaian. Might make things more interesting.
I can see why you're considered a very chaotic deity.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't trying to compliment him, but yeah, well, sure, whatever. We'll take it.
Definitely take that as a compliment.
Alright, so what are you doing? Or what are you all doing? Is Uslag going to go back in to speak with Remy? Remick?
Yeah, I mean, she would eventually. That was a lot to take in, so she might need a moment. But yeah, she would tell the others that we're all welcome to go in there now. If you
Hey,
want
great.
to see it for yourself, it's yeah, like I said, charming.
What about Glenn or Estrella? I haven't heard much from you two.
Glenn would probably find Malin.
Glenn would what?
Glenn would want to talk to Malin.
Well, he's standing right next to you. Yeah, you're all in the chapel right now.
Oh, okay. Malin, can I have a word with you?
Yeah, sure.
And he goes to step outside.
All right, yeah, okay. What's up?
So, kind of like size. I already had this time with Uslag. I don't really want to have it again, but I don't like relying on other people, because just in my life and line of work, I've found you really only rely on yourself. And being with you guys as long as I have, I've begun to rethink that. I think maybe it's okay to help from other people. I'm trying to become stronger. Uslag is helping me take up and learn the sword again, and I've been having her help me. I was wondering if you could help me as well, and maybe spar with me sometime.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I appreciate that you feel that you can rely on me. I mean, like I said, I'm here for the team, and definitely, I definitely am willing to help. I wouldn't say, unfortunately, most of my, I kind of examine myself. None of this stuff was, I guess, learned too well. I was more so constructed for combat. But yeah, if anytime spar, anytime you need help, of course, anytime. You've definitely helped me before in other manners, so I'd be more than willing to return the favor.
He nods, and I said, I realize that the path I'm on really yielded the results I'd wished, and I've been watching you and Uslog, and I've thought, if I was as strong as you two, I think I would be able to get what I want finally. And I think it's time that what I want, I don't think words are going to help. I think I'm going to have to pick up a sword and do it myself, and so I need to be stronger to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of annoying when you scamper in the back. I mean, I meant, look, I will say that I don't. The phrase "the pen is mightier than the sword." I actually think that there is definitely credence to that statement. And the influence and what we are able to accomplish certainly is quite significant. I mean, certainly what we did in Roic Halls, even as powerful as our team was, or me, Uslag, beating up fire giants, we would have gotten far, far less done without your abilities to sway the crowd, influence people. So, I certainly, I wouldn't think that it's any downplay it, of course. I will say though, as we are, I definitely feel we are entering a more serious stage of our adventure. Not that before it was any serious, but our enemies are only going to get stronger and stronger, and I hope you understand at least, why I entertain my conversations with Surtur, and maybe you disagree with the methods and whatever, but our enemies are they don't have any compunctions about what they do, and for us, again, we have to go and we have to explore other ways. At least I'm not saying throw out all our morals, but I do think with the both of us, you understand that sometimes the ends do justify the means.
He nods. I mean, as a spy, I've seen and had to do fairly underhanded things. I've always been of the mindset that usually the ends justify the means. Really, kind of like Side's Kings, he doesn't really want to admit it. This is really one of the few cases that I felt so strongly the other way. And I want to say I hope that you understand the reason why I'm so vehemently against it, but it's more so that I wish that, because in some ways, Malin, you are blind. I wish you could see yourself the way I see you. Because if you did, you would see that you've had that strength all along. You don't need to sell yourself to gain any other strength. Just strong enough as you are.
I appreciate it, but like I said, I mean, our enemies will only continue to grow stronger. It would be, be nice if, I didn't have to be, and I point to myself being resorted for, combat and, by extension, I guess, war. But, like I said, our enemies are only going to get stronger, and they have zero compunctions with the way they do it. And listen, I myself was given a second chance at life. If I need to be the one to get in the gutter, is a way of putting it. Then perhaps that is why I'm here. So again, I certainly don't want to. My intention not to sell my soul off and completely throw everything away. That's certainly against the point. But again, I appreciate that you appreciate my strength. But like I said, it's only going to get harder and harder from here, unfortunately.
I understand, but that's why I feel that we need to, especially in these parts, hold on to our morals. Easy to be good. Being good is easy when there's nothing at stake. When there's something, it's when it's hard to be good that your mettle is really tested. But I think I had such a strong reaction because it seems like you and I are a lot similar than I thought. The both of us seem like they're willing to lower themselves and humble themselves and crawl in the dirt for the greater good. Willing to sacrifice what we need to get the job done. But in the end, we both have people that care about us that wouldn't want us to sacrifice.
I mean, I feel, to be honest, I'll be frank with you, I feel like you did have a bit of, if we were dealing with the Dwagar, obviously, we were willing to abandon them to their revolution, but yeah, obviously, we are both, well, not barely, but we're both, I guess, human. But what do you owe the Empire? I mean, they you got pressed on false charges, and this is yeah, I understand, this, you're doing your job to I guess repay that debt, but why do you you were you told me you're falsely accused, I'm not saying obviously drop your job, but morally, what do you owe them really?
It's never really meant to have been a secret. It's just something that nobody really asked, and I'll tell you what, Uslog was a little curious about it earlier as well. Let's gather everyone up, and I'll tell everyone the story. So I'd like to only tell it once.
Understandable.
All right. So, and before I go too much further, Astray, you said you're not doing any interactions, right?
No, that's fine.
All right. So you're gonna go gather everyone up, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go find Astray and Uslog since I already got Malin.
Everyone our party, or everyone our allies and everyone?
I guess they're just our party. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, we're here with Malin, so we really just need to find Uslog and Astray.
Well, I think they're both in the area because Uslog just had her conversation with Yali.
Okay.
Yeah, she hadn't gotten too far probably, but she did kind of probably walk away.
Walker of the Veil, what a title, damn.
Yeah.
All right, so you kind of gather everyone up, maybe go to your room.
Okay. And so I'm...
Or actually, before we do that, do we want to do a 10-minute break? Or about a halfway point? Or do you have something in your mind you want to say now?
Oh, no, break is fine.
Alright, yeah, let's do a 10-minute break, and you can think about what you want to say, too. Alright, I'll be back.
Me too.
Reality, I'm just gonna fuck off for 10 minutes and still ad-lib when I come back.
I'll be right back. I'm back.
Anybody been playing anything good aside from Baldur's Gate?
I haven't really been playing Baldur's Gate or anything.
Factorio. No Factorio fans.
Okay. Alright. I was, Factorio looked interesting, but I figured I hadn't spent enough time in RimWorld yet, so... Isn't Factorio kind of similar to RimWorld, or no?
I've heard of the name before. Let me see this. So just construction management. Yeah, actually, I guess it's pretty similar.
Or just different kind of setting instead of, like, futuristic survival.
Let me see.
Industrial factory, I assume.
Well, no, I guess Factorio, it's more so about, I guess, heavy efficiency on, like, I guess, crafting recipes, automating stuff, and making that efficient.
Is it more like RimWorld mixed with like SimCity then?
You don't care more so, I guess, about your livelihood. Like, it's not like you're trying to build like a city. You're not trying to build like anything. You're literally just, building parts, like you start with like your core resources, and then you have to like build up other resources. Like you just literally just only care about building building up like, I guess, your output for certain materials. So let's say like you want to build like it's I guess very self, like, what's your end goal? It's a little hard to say. I guess you want to just research everything. So I guess it's self-driven, but
It's kind of like capitalist utopia.
again, it's just, I wouldn't even say capitalist. It's just you're trying to go and like you have, different assemblers, different belts, trying to mix different stuff to build one thing, trying to mix different other stuff. Like your belt organization, then you have like bots. It's like, it's very, again, you're just trying to, I guess, optimize the factory and make more stuff from the factory. But, it's on like a planet-wide scale, and they just released a new update for, space.
Because I always assumed it was in the same genre as like Dwarf Fortress and RimWorld, where it's just some kind of like base building, except it's just like building a factory instead. But I'll have to look at some gameplay videos.
Yeah, we got like we there's like different meds, like we do like trains and to shuttle like different materials off from different worlds. Bots that could like do the work for you. It's like, again, just a heavy emphasis on automation. How much can you like automate and produce? So like, for example, a metric is like steel plates. That's a core resource. You start off, you're probably doing like 1,000 every 10 minutes automating, but like, putting a lot of effort depending on like different smelters, different miners, you can get up to like 31,000.
I mean, I take that to the next level. All these people are like, oh man, AI is super dangerous. It's gonna, it's gonna take jobs away from artists and voice actors and all those other people. I'm like, yes, they should. If you're crappy enough to get your job taken away by them, you should be.
Yeah, I mean, well, some of them. I mean, like, I guess for artwork, it's a little tough because, I mean, some of the stuff that people do, I guess, and like I've seen, like, when I go to Comic-Con for like Artist Alley, it's pretty, like it's pretty unique stuff. But like if you throw their work into AI, yeah, AI is gonna be like really easy able to replicate that stuff. It's not like how can you get more better that you can outpace AI.
Exactly.
For other stuff, like if you're running like spreadsheets, if you're running like financial stuff, oh yeah, absolutely, replace this. You need to replace some of these jobs.
Oh yeah, but I think that AI has its use in art, and I think I know a lot of people disagree with me. They're like, oh no, but like, obviously it's not really good enough to replace replace pretty much anything right now as far as like artists and voice actors are concerned. But like, I'm sure everybody's heard a funny cover of a song, with using like Plankton's voice from SpongeBob.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is. I like that.
But like, think about it. Think of it. When like, because James Earl Jones is dead, man. There's no more Vader lines, but
he sold it. Yeah, I know. He sold his rights so they would keep. He would stay alive, which I think is obviously I appreciate that a lot.
But now there can be, and in the future now when our famous actors die, we can still use their lines for roles that'd be perfect for them. I mean, I think there's a wide application, and especially the art. Some of the art I've seen Midjourney create is like, I don't know, way better than I see, drawn by manual artists. I mean, I'm not a huge art guy though.
Where do you think that art that the AI drew from came from?
I mean, again, on the flip side, they had to have been the artists that created that art were inspired by other artists to make the art. So what's the difference?
Oh, absolutely. Or by nature, or by what's around you. Yeah.
And that's why I think there's not, and that's why I said when people put that argument, I don't think there's that much difference in like the AI learning to generate art by learning from other people's arts than real artists learning, from other people, the artists before them.
What about the fact that so the engines could not do what they do without having fed the art in. I know you're saying that it's drawing inspiration from somewhere else and that artists do that too. But the thing is that if there hadn't been that art to put into those AI engines to influence them or let them draw from, like as you're calling it, then they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't be able to do what they're doing. They wouldn't be able to output the visuals that they're outputting and combine the things that they're combining. And those artists whose work was put in and who, that's their livelihood. And they didn't get to like get a copyright or a patent or a contract on that. Their stuff was used without their permission.
Exactly, and
The
that's why
majority.
I mean I really I don't think there should be any copyrights on anything. I'm very listen, I understand my views are pretty extreme compared to most people's because I think
Wow.
that is the death of art. How many and just from like something small and stupid like a great example is you watch Supernatural on Netflix now. It's fucking awful because they had to take all the classic rock music out. Or if you get Married with Children on DVD box set or watch on streaming services, the theme song isn't there anymore because they couldn't get rights because of copyright
You're
bullshit.
saying copyright is the death of art?
Yes, I think copyright. I think maybe not the death of art, but I think it limits art. I think it's an unneeded limitation of
So
art.
So if the people who create these things that inspire others and that other people want to use aren't able to support themselves or earn a living by making those things, then that stuff won't exist. So you're saying that they should not be compensated for their contribution?
No, I'm not saying they
Or
shouldn't be compensated. I'm saying they shouldn't be able to hold a chokehold on something and not allow it to be used anywhere else. Because I
so
think
I
that good
assume you don't believe
artists,
in patents then either.
I'm not really sure where I fall on that, to be honest.
How is it different?
I really don't know. I haven't really,
If
honestly, I
it's
haven't really
something,
thought about patents.
if you're saying something that one person creates they shouldn't be able to keep hold of and continue to earn from, but then something that someone else invents, they've created that and they've been influenced by other things that they've seen around them.
But on the flip side, you've got companies like Nintendo and Pokemon suing Palworld for essentially doing the same shit that they did because this Pokemon essentially copied a ton of their designs from older games and just nature itself. Yet because they're a big corporation, they have a lot of money and they were able to patent it. They're able to sue companies that make monsters that are even just remotely similar for anything a Pokemon has.
Right. And I'm not defending the way people with power or money and influence can go ahead and get away with that type of thing. But if there was, a better system out there where the little people could have, copyrighted their own things or patented their own things, then, the role would be reversed. I'm not defending,
Well, no,
corruption
and
or
obviously,
yeah, yeah.
but at the same time, I don't think that there is a way to make a system that is fair that is not able to be abused by people with money and power, and so I think it's
So you
better to just
just let it
abolish it.
happen.
Yes,
So then the little people are in even worse shape than they would be where they have a few rights and powers to hold on to their what they've spent time
I
creating.
feel like it's going to mean the death of smaller artists, but it's going to embolden and bring forth the better artists because that's what I think. I mean, is AI is going to put people out of a job, and in a lot in pretty much every field almost, and it's going to get to the point where it's going to do that to artists and voice actors already. And I think the people that are going to be able to survive in that field are going to be the people with real talent because there's still going to be people who are going to be able to make works of art that transcend what an AI can do, and there will always be people that will pay for.
But by your logic, those people who can transcend shouldn't have any kind of copyright or control over continuing to earn from those things they create. Even if they do transcend what AI can do, they're no longer theirs by the rest of the logic.
But it doesn't mean that they're not going to get. It doesn't mean that people won't be willing to pay for that. I mean, because if you look at, I mean, it's a little different, but piracy, for example, is usually a service issue. I mean, you take a look at PC piracy before Steam became a big thing, and it's lowered drastically. And I mean, I remember when HBO used to have a TV you needed a TV subscription and have to pay for HBO before they went to HBO Max, to where you could just pay for it monthly. And I remember back then, everybody pirated. There had like the most pirated shows in the world. And when they finally, okay, you know what? Fuck it, you can just have HBO for $15 a month and you can stream it. piracy went way down. I mean, there's always going to be piracy, but it's usually a service issue. And if you have people who offer good products that are easy to access, people will be willing to pay for them. Sorry, guys.
It's interesting.
Philosophical argument on AI. I've got really weird opinions on AI. I'm sorry. I'm definitely in the minority. I totally understand this.
No, I mean I have a pretty favorable view. I mean, yeah, I understand it a little to art, but like, I mean, as a guy who works in tech and finance, like yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we have to get rid of people doing it because it again it kills efficiency.
Well, and I don't think that many people who aren't fond of AI aren't necessarily disputing the possible uses of it and the value add that it could have. I think it's more about how we choose to apply this power.
Exactly, yeah.
What we choose to use it for is what I think some people are arguing for and against.
And that's why I totally understand people who want the placeholders there and the copyright still and limitations on AI, because can it be abused? Oh fuck yeah! I mean, there's no denying that.
I would argue it is being abused, but I don't like AI.
Yeah.
I like the potential of it, but I think now it's just like a plagiarism machine.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, I can't really deny that, but when you see a cover of Big Iron sung by Plankton, it's like, yes, this is what AI was meant to do.
Again, I think it's really tricky in in the art space and humanities, this type of stuff. So and like I said, I don't know that field too well to be able to weigh in. But yeah, from tech and I guess from a more STEM thing, AIs that we absolutely needed.
And I mean, I don't disagree, but I mean, I work in IT, but I work in my free time with many creatives. So obviously I've got, a lot of empathy for them just because of my exposure to their work.
I mean, and I do too. Just because I have, weird takes doesn't mean I don't feel for them. But I think, and that's the thing, especially when it comes to creative, it's such a hard, nuanced stance of usually people have with AI, and here I just have this bull in a china shop opinion. So I know that my opinion on the creative side just automatically creates a lot of discussion. But I don't, I totally agree with people who think completely opposite, because I can totally, I totally see where they're coming from. So it's not I don't I'm you're wrong and I'm right, but I just think that we're gonna have AI overlords one day. So if I'm on their side from the beginning, then
Well, I know. I think Wizards is hiring someone to do AI DM program.
Oh, I see.
So you guys soon might switch over to the Wizards of the Coast AI DM.
No, thank you.
The 5-minute dungeons thing where you don't need a DM. I mean, that was that wasn't AI, but that was maybe the ancestors of what you're talking about now.
Create an AI Lou, AI Lou.
I have tried some of those AI DMs.
It'd be funny if they ended up naming him AI Lou. Just Siri and Alexa, AI Lou becomes a household name.
Yeah.
No, you cannot level up.
No, it just says no to everything.
No.
AI Lou, can I? No. But no. All right, we're gonna no. Damn it. All right. Anyway. All right. So I love discussions about AI, but I'm sure you guys would rather play D&D. All right. So yeah, I think you were about to have your RP moment.
Yes.
Glenn's going to talk a bit about his story.
Gathered everybody up. And he has everybody gathered up, and he says, well, I don't need to go into a ton of excruciating detail like I usually do with my profession, so I'm sure you're all glad about that. I think everybody pretty knows my story except Estrella, since you're newer to the party. But I'm a spy for the Truvian Empire. I work with for this family's name? Blackwater.
Blackwater.
I got it first. Blackwater family. Um, I worked with many of the noble families in the Truvian Empire as a spy. As I enlisted in the military when I was, as a soldier when I was younger. But my talents for espionage was quickly noticed, and I got placed there. I mean, I still serve the Truvian Empire a little bit against my will. I mean, I'm still a patriot. I've never been anything but loyal to the Empire, but I was framed for a murder I didn't commit. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. A noble was killed, and there wasn't any explanation on who killed it, who killed them, and I was found with the body. So I was to be executed, but Blackwater's family used their influence to stay the execution, and in turn, I would work off my debt to them. How long I have to work is never really talked about. I've come to realize that I'll probably never be out of their debt.
Fucking Blackwaters. It's like fuming.
He nods, and Uslog, I asked you for help to become stronger earlier. I recently asked Malin as well, and he asked the question. He asked why. What do they have over me, aside from what happened? And I figured I would gather you all up, because at some point, when I feel like I'm ready, I will probably ask you all for your help. And as I told Uslag, I would not expect for you to risk anything for me without knowing why. Guys, before I was framed, I'd like to one day find out why. If I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or if I was set up as a fall guy for something, but no matter. I did have a short relationship with somebody, but I was married for a short time. But they died due to an illness, but not before leaving me a son and a daughter. The Blackwaters have under their control.
Hostages?
Uslog's just in shocked silence.
He nods. Yes. They're raising them in my stead, since I cannot, but yes, they're essentially hostages to make sure I do what I'm supposed to.
What?
Uslog's shock slowly turns into rage. But she's speechless. She looks
That's
so fucking mad.
That's so messed up. I am so sorry. Oh my, that's just messed up.
I thought that if I played the good soldier and bowed and scraped and did what they wanted, I would eventually get them back. But I've realized I don't think that's... not to boast, but I am unfortunately a little bit too good at what I do. I don't think they're ever going to want to let go of me. And so, while traveling with you and Uslog, Malinov, I realized if I was as strong as you, I would be able to take up the sword and burn the world down to get my children back if need be. So, I want to be able to rescue them. I need to get stronger to do that. This is a situation I don't think my words are going to be enough.
Nah, screw it. Let's go. I don't understand. No, that's messed up. You have more than obviously proven and done for the Empire.
Eli will put his hand on your shoulder and say, I'm sorry, my friend. I know what it's like to lose your family.
You know, I know, I'm sorry.
But I would like to support you however I can if you ever wish to get them back.
No, yeah. Listen, I mean, I don't. No, I'm serious. So why don't we just get them back?
Yeah, can we? How long has it been?
Eli says, well, the Blackwaters are quite a powerful family. It'd be a powerful enemy to make if we just started attacking their property, searching for these people.
Well, that's Eli has hit the nose on the head. I don't know exactly where they are. That's what I've been trying to ascertain while working for him.
Do you have any acquaintances within these families or within the capital that you do trust or that you think might help?
I do have a few contacts in the Empire. I've worked for. I've been a servant of the Empire almost all my life, so there's a few people I feel like I can trust. But I've just been at the moment trying to keep a low profile until I feel like I was ready.
Well, you had a plan, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a proper plan until I always assumed I would have to do this myself, and so I've just, I guess, been biding my time for the right moment.
What?
Well,
do you think
is
would
there a
happen?
right moment for this? I mean,
Well, I feel like there is, because I don't know what the Blackwaters are ultimately willing to do, or what lengths they're willing to go to. If they hear I have started acting against them.
What? Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, you were waiting. Go ahead first.
I was just curious what would happen should you have fallen in your duties to them before now. Do you think that they would have continued to raise your children?
I do.
So faking your death is not necessarily going to improve their situation.
No, I mean they have my blood in their veins. I'm sure that the Blackwaters have been raising them. I'm sure that if I fall, they'll simply raise them to be loyal soldiers of the Blackwaters and make use of whatever talents form.
no, that's all the more reason that there is not a good time. There's the more we wait, the more your offspring get brainwashed. This is not.
Blackwaters are nothing but trouble. I've had some history with them, and there's actually quite a few loose threads.
You're the diplomat, or go ahead.
That may lead somewhere if we want to start there sometime.
Eli would say you're a diplomatic sort. Is there something that you could give the Blackwaters that they might finally release you, or something that I don't know you could trade to get your children back?
haven't broached the subject with them, but I've done everything they've asked me and more. Maybe when we return from the Shadowfell, I could seek an audience with Lady Blackwater and ask her, see if there's some way to bargain for my children back. Because I don't think so. I think whatever ask she would ask, the price would be too high. But
Which is obscene. I mean, even if you're trying, even if you were truly did kill that noble, which obviously we all believe that you didn't, and you've certainly, take a man's family, take them not only as hostages, but raise them potentially against his will is truly obscene. This is no just way. This is no just empire. Frankly, they're as bad as the Dwagar or slavers, in my opinion.
it
Well,
infuriates me because I still even now am a loyal subject of the empire, and I hesitate to fight back against the Blackwaters because I know it's going to brand me as a traitor. I don't want that even now, but I don't know what else to do.
have you spoken to any of the other families? I know the Blackwaters are powerful politically. They must have some enemies within the court. Maybe someone who could help you?
But would they help him because they wish for the right thing to be done, or because they wish to control him next?
That is unnecessary.
It's a game of politics, of trades. You would probably have to bring them something that they want, and become that would grant a friendship, which could bring benefits.
Quick aside, did Glenn share with us about that the Blackwaters are doing some dark stuff, or no? Because I know he had that conversation with, I forgot.
So far, he hasn't mentioned.
Okay, so yeah, then never mind. I wouldn't.
Because this
bring
would
that
have
up.
had some things to say, because it mentioned.
Well, actually, I only did because I totally forgot about that. Because, well, I heard he kind of. This has to stay in this room. What I say, because if this gets out, the person I promised I wouldn't say anything, and I feel awful as a spy spreading this, but Kemi told me that there's rumors that the Blackwaters are into some nefarious black magic shit.
What?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, there was a
Like-
whole demon invasion in Char.
Like, potentially trying to raise the dead type of stuff.
Necromancy. It's
Necromancy
very
and other
taboo,
dark arts, yeah.
Very taboo
What-
type of magic.
Out of
Well-
character, what was the sister's name in Char? The Blackwater's sister, Kalen's sister.
It was.
There's
I'll
Prudence.
know it when I hear it, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Was it Constance?
Patience is his mother.
No, Constance. Oh, patient. Yeah, I was gonna say. I knew that was the
Constance is
matriarch.
mother.
Yeah.
Although I don't see her. Is she in Taiwanus now or something?
He was in Char. This group left before dealing with her too much, but
Oh, Lorena. Lorena Blackwater.
yeah.
Didn't you tell me, Uslag, that you traveled back to Char with that Galen, and then later heard that his sister was putting about the tale that he had died in the Issac battles when you knew that not to be true?
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
seemed awfully suspicious.
We were going to look into that until, the whole thing in the Shadowfell.
I mean,
Uh,
I I have some theory that they're doing this to maybe try and bring Galen Black to life, but it's just a theory.
I'd be giving them a lot of credit, but I suppose that's possible.
But I know that type of magic and that type of research is not very well looked upon. So, with that information, I might be able to turn some of the other noble families that are fence-sitting about the Blackwaters, perhaps against them.
Yeah, I think that might be a better route to take other than just attacking them directly. Blackwaters do have a lot of resources at their disposal, and Tyvanis is much more powerful than any Dwager empire in the old mountains.
Yes, I think
You're looking at the Phoenix Guild, the Artisans Guild, any of the families and all their soldiers.
Well, let us work on building alliances with all these powerful players, or at least all those that we wish to ally with and that are not also as nefarious as the Blackwaters, although they might all be. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think after we get back from the Shadowfell, if we could take a detour to the capital, maybe I could spread the rumor about the Blackwaters amongst some of the other noble families and see what in turn I hear back, what whispers I hear back.
So I'm curious, and this question is for Uslag. Who is this Remy that you keep trying to question?
Oh, is Eli asking this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just some asshole who stole from us. But apparently he's become quite the force here.
The accomplished ne'er-do-well.
Yeah.
Well, it seems
seems
like
to
it if
have,
he's been taken prisoner by the Raven Queen. I mean, he must have
Yeah,
done
it
some
seems
pretty
he's,
heinous
done
things.
some pretty big atrocities, but I haven't asked the details. But yeah, I don't even know if it's worth it to ask about the stuff he took. It's just stuff. It is some valuable stuff and a bag of holding, but now I kind of want to talk to him to see what else he's done, but I don't know.
Always try and modify their memory.
He's a bit, yeah. He's actually able to. I think he was able to do that. Is that that's how he ended up stealing from us? I think.
Yeah, he's used modify
Or
memory on a bunch of different people.
Yeah. So.
He used like a coercion or a charm
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Obviously,
it's not
that's
really
Miriam, not Estrella, obviously.
not really to be trifled with. But he is quite squishy.
Well, he's dead.
You want me to?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he is dead.
I assume.
So I guess that's not really an issue.
If he's under judgment in the Raven Queen's purgatory, then it does seem rather like he may not still be breathing.
Yeah. I guess that's easy for me to forget because it's just never mind.
All right. Well, I can continue passing the time unless you all have more you want to talk about.
That was a lot to process.
Mhm.
I guess this look would just be like, sorry, Glenn. That's a lot.
No, it's
And,
I said I never. Sorry, I never really meant to keep it a secret. Like I said, I just nobody really asked, and I didn't really have any reason to say it. It's not like I enjoy talking about it, but with everything that's happening, I feel like it's now worth saying or worth letting you all know what my end goal that I have in mind.
Yeah.
Aside from
Well-
saving the world, of course.
I would gladly take out the whole Blackwater family if it meant getting your kids back. So
I appreciate that.
say the word.
When Uslak says that, I like a couple of gears turn in my head. Like, take out the entire family. Wait, and I start thinking.
Oh,
Well, we would need an army, but okay,
How many
I
Warforged did we have in the tower?
that wouldn't be enough. We would need some muscle.
You plan on attacking the capital, Geraldo says?
Yeah, if they're in the capital, that would be near impossible to.
He laughs. He says, well, you'll accomplish what none of the dwarves were able to do back in the wars. Although I imagine taking on the capital would be quite the feat.
and
No.
also probably cause more.
How big is the capital?
Tyvanis? I mean, it's pretty big. It's like a big city.
Okay, so I assume it's more than like a mile.
It's a good question. I don't know what the exact distance is. It might be less than a mile. But
Okay,
it's got a large
trying to-
amount of people living there.
Okay, I'm just trying to picture if I could burn all of it down with Mirage Arcane.
Now you're talking my speed, Glenn. Why are we on opposing sides
like
before?
Tygonus, there are people that are not corrupt mixed all in with those who are.
Well, aside, we're not trying to declare war on the entire empire. That would be, we
I
might as
didn't
well
say
just ally.
empire. I said the city of Tygonus.
well-
Is that what?
Well, if we attack the capital of Taiwan, we're declaring on the entire empire, are we not?
Bringing an
Yeah,
army
I
to the
think
capital
in
for
this
Blackwater would probably be looked at as an attack, Geraldo says.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
this
know.
in this case a full front attack is going to be what we're going to do. This is going to be
So-
something where we take out small factions.
I have to be smart
By
about
one.
it. It's as much fun as it is to picture, to think about me burning the whole city down and marching in, like a juggernaut of destruction to slay the Blackwaters. I know that's not realistic.
Well, okay, all right. Hear me out. I don't think this is that an idea. We would definitely need to. I feel like we should, if we were to try and save your kids. I think. Well, first off, yes, we're not trying to declare war on the entire empire. We're in no shape, and that would be counterproductive to what we're trying. Our ultimate goal is what we're trying to do. So we would definitely need at least another family to make sure we don't get declared war on, like to at least go to bat for us.
About the Avonhearts, are you familiar with them?
Out of character,
Yeah.
I'm sure that I am, but just ask.
Yeah, so the Avonhearts are the first seat on the council, the most powerful family in Tyvanis. Currently held by Tifia Avonheart, a white-haired woman in her mid to late 30s.
Have any
Though you don't know much about them. They're kind of, I want to say, yeah, maybe a little mysterious, but somehow they have a lot of power within the Empire.
I've done a little bit of work for the Avonhearts, but not. I've never communicated with anybody of a decent rank, though. It's always been. They've always had several go-betweens, so I'm sure I could get word to somebody in the Avonheart family, but I would also have to trust that that word would get properly delivered up the chain.
Geraldo
can't
says,
guarantee that.
well, I imagine they probably have a good amount of scrapping with the Blackwaters, first and second. I'm sure Patience doesn't like being second fiddle to any other family. I'd be curious to know how they kept their top seat so long, he says. I don't know much, obviously, being from the Dwarven Empire, but Just heard some stories about the council and some of their mysterious ways.
Oh, maybe I could get word to them that I have some information on the Blackwaters they might be interested in hearing.
Well, look, I don't think we could ever convince one family to, outright turn on the other. But what we can convince them is that if we were to go and do a bold maneuver, such as take back your kids and/or take something of value, that the other families would tell the Blackwaters to deal with their own problems. That way, we would try to be able to lure out their forces and then bring our own army to go and destroy them. And that way, the Avanhards or whatever family we come to has a thorn out of their side, but they didn't actually have any participation in this event.
Where are we going to get an army?
So it's funny you mentioned about burning down the entire city. I was thinking about it, and now that I am the Avatar of Surtur, I'm sure Surtur wouldn't mind an opportunity to burn one of the royal houses down. And as for an army, why don't we go visit Roic Halls again? I'm sure if we had a conversation with the fire giants, and now that things are a little changed, they would be appreciative of the chance to go and strike a blow against the hated humans.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that you think that if you march back into that mountain where you betrayed both sides, well, you fought one side and then allied with the other, but then later, turned your back on them. You think that they are going to march across an empire and attack a capital city just because?
No.
Why?
No, I would not say, like I said, we would need to lure out the Blackwaters. Obviously, attacking the capital is a no-go. We would need to lure out their forces. That being said, the Fire Giants, we didn't have any dealings. We didn't betray them. And furthermore, they only care about strength and power. And they recognize power. And they will recognize this sigil, certainly. I am sure they'll be much more open to discussion now that I have taken on the mantle of, also technically fulfilling Surtur's will in this matter. And like I said, they would, I think, be interested in an opportunity, again, to cause chaos and rampage, but to destroy one of the main houses of the Empire.
If you can get my fire giants in, I'll happily burn the place to the ground.
Who said? Oh, Surtur said that. Oh, okay, well.
I feel like this whole conversation has gone a very different direction than I anticipated. There's a lot of destruction and burning and pillaging, and I am very much for us continuing to discuss possible ways to improve Glenn's situation and that of his children, and perhaps decline the situation of this Blackwater family, as it seems that they're just no good to anyone. But I believe that there's surely ways to be more subtle and that we have not yet arrived at quite the right plan. Additionally, may I remind you that we have at our fingertips the possible means of accessing night weather. Night weather, are you forgetting the knowledge, the lost, everything that... Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, we're not saying no one's saying, we stop this plan, but every day that Glenn is, separated from his family, is another day that, as first off, they forget who their father is. At worst, they go and pollute their minds against him. I pray that this is not the case, but it may very well be that the next time Glenn might see his family, his children, they might, not even want to come back with him, and they might despise him due to the time that they were raised and potentially brainwashed.
No,
This is not...
I'm not above modifying my children's memory.
Okay, that's your call. But this is absolutely absolutely outrageous. What Glenn has done, obviously for the Empire with us, I absolutely share Uslog's sentiment that this crosses a line beyond any, and if need be, to destroy them, then we would absolutely need to do so.
I support helping to right a wrong, and I support helping one another, supporting one's friends and allies. Absolutely. I'm just saying that this is rather quickly and emotionally charged, this whole conversation. And we are very quickly pivoting from a group that was all about the greater good to a possibility of burning down palaces and cities and
What would be their army? That we would try to lure their army out and then meet them in field of combat. There would be, hopefully, no innocence unless the Black Wars resort to human hostages and human shields.
There is never, ever, ever no innocent victims in a conflict among the rich and powerful.
Of course, but we're not trying to. We're not. They wouldn't. In the field of battle, I would hope citizen casualties would be far more minimal.
I think this is going to be a very delicate situation. I mean, his kids are in the mix.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I
would say we would. The point is, we need to lure them out without trying to. The key again is we're not trying to declare war against the Empire. We're trying to go and have the Empire tell the Blackwires to deal with their own mess. In which case, we would go infiltrate, grab them, and we'd have to lure the Blackwater forces out.
This is still a plan for a large battle, no matter how carefully laid that a battle is more violence than perhaps is necessary, especially if there are parties that could be put into play in one way or another that we have yet to explore the possibilities of something more subtle.
Well, I agree.
Yeah. If we want to do the subtlety, but I feel Glenn, who is a master, legendary master at this craft, I feel like, of course, he will give it his shot, but I think he has already explored as much as he can in this aspect, and I have my doubts how far we can go.
I appreciate your passion for righting a wrong, my friend. I truly do. I'd rather stay the salt and brimstone for now, though. I have no doubts that before my children are back in my care, a blade will have to be drawn against the Blackwaters, but I don't think it's going to be an open field.
Yeah. The Blackwaters like to work in shadow and secret. They're not going to want this to be out in the open, I think.
That is why they so badly wanted my talents, because they are family of the
Yeah. So.
But like I said, the good of the world trumps my tiny story. So while we're in the Shadowfell, we should focus on what brought us here. And when we come back, when we leave the Shadowfell, take a detour to the capital, so I might find some information and sow some dissent.
So, just out of curiosity, you are attuned to the dwarf or belt of dwarven kind, right?
Yes.
Alright, so you probably have a big old beard by now. Just keep forgetting about that. I was looking through your inventory.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just figure I shave every day.
You just try your best to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So, what is the plan? What do you all want to do?
Well, I guess just kind of continue what we're here for, and then
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should
Uslag,
focus
all right, what is the plan?
on getting what we need to get done here so that we can return. Well,
Yes. Where the hell is Xerxes?
we need to find Xerxes. That's in order to find the weapons of the Constants, which will help us in the greater fight. We also have the matter of the cult of the shadow, or the children of shadow, becoming stronger, which we weren't planning on when we came here. We weren't planning on getting involved, but now that I know what I know, to fight with that might not be ideal. But yeah, Xerxes, that's the goal right now.
All right. So, why don't we say we finish up the 4 days that I have passed?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, did
yeah.
Chris finish fixing the pan flute?
So
Not
he has been unable to fix it. He says it's a little bit more intricate than he thought, so he'd give it back to you. But okay, so for the week, Glenn and Malin, you were doing the research, right?
Yeah, I was helping him.
So I need an int check from the two of you, and I'll take the higher of the two.
Might be Malins, but
Okay, so 21. So with the plus 6 for your assistance, it would be a total of 27, which I think is 3 pieces of lore. But let me check that out. Yeah, so you would get 3 pieces of lore on your basically I keep wanting to say editing. I know there's a better word for it, but on the augmenting of magical spells. So you can just say it's like arcane lore or something. And you think you can use this along with the essence you have to augment your magnificent mansion. It would have a story point cost, but you could do it. Or you could keep trying to find another way. What about Estrella? Were you doing anything that needed a roll?
No, she just would finish brewing.
Okay. On Uslag, you were just learning about blacksmithing, right?
Yeah, so 4 days. And...
Yeah, so it is the 53rd of spring. I already did all the work for the time passage. Now, does the group want to keep passing time to keep working on stuff, or are you going to kind of like venture out?
We were saying that we were gonna have Rune try to contact Xerxes during this time.
Yeah,
all right.
during the 4 days.
So, how would you have Rune do this?
Well, the reason we came to find Rune is because they've met Xerxes.
They've met
right?
Xerxes, and they would know this spell sending, or we needed sending, and someone who has seen Xerxes. So Rune would be able to cast that, I believe.
All right, let me check something. So, Rune. So, Rune will say that she has done ascending, but was unable to get a hold of him. It's almost like he's in a place that's blocking any type of magical connections. Detections, communications. So,
place like the place he took you guys last time?
Yeah, very likely.
that said, she thinks she has an idea of where he might be. She
Great.
says, with some other magic, even though I wasn't able to directly contact him, I believe that his current location is the capital, Devaldia, of the Shadow Elf Empire here. Not sure what he's doing there, but I think he's in the capital city.
Well, and isn't it convenient that we know a circle there?
Very
Says,
convenient.
oh, do you? Well, that's, I suppose, that is convenient.
The one you taught me, literally this week.
Yeah.
She says, well, I have a lot on my plate. I remember you looking at my spell book. I don't remember what it was for. She says,
So yeah, I had copied that circle down and I had shared it with Glenn and Eli.
She says, I know Devaldia is currently under a lot of political turmoil. There's been a divide in some of the theocratic factions that run the empire. And because of that, there's a lot of worry of enemies within. She says, yeah.
Would your allies, Uslog, your what are they? The Crimson Dagger or something? Your allies that you made in New Havasgard, would they be of some help to us? Maybe perhaps taking a scout of theirs with us, or someone that might know how to navigate the city's politics?
Yeah, we're in with the underground there. Well, not in Devaldia, but in
As well, are you talking about the Midnight Pyre?
yeah,
Yes, then sorry.
in New Haven.
So, yeah, they,
Well, I know they're from the other city. I just thought perhaps they would know more of Devaldia than we do.
Right.
yeah, I get a
yes.
lot of my magic components from them. We trade with them a lot for supplies here. I'm sure they could get you into Devaldia quietly. Maybe they even know where this friend of yours is.
Yeah, I'd say we start there then.
Says, all right, well,
Talk to was it Civil? That was our ally there.
That sounds right. Yeah.
oh, are you talking
Havasgard.
about New Havasgard?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, well, Civil was... Who were they? Let me see. Yeah, so Civil
I remember
was...
the name. Yeah.
Amira as well is another one. Oh no, she was Silent Circle.
Yeah, you weren't
She could help too.
you weren't in
was
as
a
good with the
druid
Silent
too, right?
Circle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, who's that druid?
It started with Shara or something, Chiara.
Yeah, Shard.
But I don't know. I don't remember if this group, like, I know we met her, but I don't know how close this group was with her.
Yeah, she helped us a lot, and
Okay.
especially in stopping the whole
As
ritual
well.
thing.
Go ahead.
That was it. Just that she helped us stop the ritual for the city.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
pretty close.
Yeah, Shara Darkmane, I think her name was. Yeah. All right. So is that where we're starting?
I guess so. I mean, is this? Yeah. We need to. This feels. Yeah. Miss Luck would just say like it's doing this knowing. Yeah.
Do we want to speak with the folks at Aldrin's Watch to see if there's someone they can send with us to get us in, or are we just going to teleport there?
You want to teleport there?
It depends on if because is the circle for New Havasgard, where does that lead to specifically?
The circle is in the temple. The
Right.
temple
Oh, so
to
we're
the
gonna-
Raven.
So it depends on if we want to make our entrance known, or if we want to stay.
Actually, both of all the teleportation circles are in temples because it's a theocratic socialist empire.
Oh, I see. So we're talking about teleporting to New Havasgard first.
Oh, if we wanted to talk to.
I guess I thought they were at Aldrin's Watch, but I might be mixing my groups up. I guess it's your tribe
Well,
that's
they're
keeping Aldrin.
The Midnight Pyre are present in both areas.
In both.
They're
Okay,
like
that's
they're
what I'm
basically
asking.
like the main spy network of this world.
Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking we could pop over to Aldrin's Watch, see if our contacts there can either give us a lead or give us a guide, and then we could go to Devaldia.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Velik might know something.
Yeah.
All right. So you're traveling back today, heading to Aldrin's Watch. Sounds like it. Okay. Or go
I
ahead.
mean, we're stepping through the portal. Yeah. Is it traveling back to just go through the portal from the sanctuary to the watch?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
Actually, going a pretty far distance. Aldrin's Watch is nowhere near where you are right now. But
Oh well, right.
this
I
is
understand that.
magical
I just
travel.
yeah.
All right. So you return to Aldrin's Watch, and huh?
Sorry, I had a cool question. Isn't this place under like siege? Like, aren't they like?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are currently fighting those troll giant things.
Definitely
Do we not want to help them out, break the siege?
You could. So far,
think
the
that's,
giants
something
have
we-
kind of stayed back and are making it harder for them to get supplies and people through.
I think
Yeah.
we know that that's definitely going to be something we deal with at some point. And I wonder if it's something that we might be able to find information of, if we go other places, maybe
But they can get
find a
supplies.
source. Yeah.
The Midnight Pyre and has the ability to use the teleportation circles between here and other cities, right? So the siege is not really as effective as it might be otherwise, right?
Well, yeah, the teleportation is definitely. It's more of a, concern that. What are they waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as we travel, we might be able to get, some information. Maybe track down.
I mean, I'm down to
sources.
kill some more of them, but I thought I'd gotten the impression from the folks that are holding this fortress that this has been going on for some time and it's kind of par for the course for them at this point. But there is definitely more to be learned.
Yeah, they've kind of been harrying them more than actually sieging them, because like you said, they can use the circle to bring people in. And the Midnight Pyre, while not all of them can teleport, they do have some people. It's expensive to bring supplies in teleport or through the teleporter, but that's what they have to do right now.
Okay.
Because teleportation, or go ahead.
Well, Malin, did you want to get some aggression out before we go? Were you proposing that we kill some giants
Yeah, I mean,
first?
I
or...
thought this place. I was like saying, I just kind of feel bad. Like, this place is like surrounded by those trolls, and then if we need to just punch a hole to break the siege out, we can, us battering ram through siege lines. That's what I was thinking. But if it's fine here, then we could just go straight to New Havagard. See, your call, Uzlog. This is your tribe's holding down the fort here.
Well, her tribe is safely within the Twilight Sanctuary. However, Aldrin's Watch does trade with them for food. So if Aldrin's Watch ever fell, they'd be in a little bit of trouble.
Right, but the tribe, I'm guessing would help if Aldrin's Watch called for them.
Yeah, so
they would
far
be
they
there to help,
haven't, because
so-
they didn't feel like it's worth it to fight. They just kind of have left the giant trollish creatures be out there doing their thing.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if like they attack, or like, they somehow manage to break in, or whatever, if things go bad, like, Usog would feel pretty good that the tribe is at least
All right.
there to help.
And-
Possibly.
Well,
would they not
I
help?
hope that Rune might be able to contact us should something like that happen as well, and we can
Yeah,
return.
because they're a pretty powerful force on their own, I think.
Yeah,
So-
like Lou, tell us again, because I think you gave us an idea of the numbers, but it was something pretty vast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a couple of hundred.
Yeah, trolls. Yeah.
of giant troll
giant
things.
trolls, yeah.
Definitely not something you guys could handle just with your group.
Not unless we could
unless you did
lure
some
them in little
serious
groups at a time.
hit and runs.
Run
So
tactics are something we're very familiar with.
I will say,
yes.
when you get back to Aldrin's Watch, if you go to the throne room area, you would see a familiar face. They come over and say, "Friends, it's been far too long. I heard you were back in the area. I was hoping I'd bump into you." He says, "Well, I guess one of you," as he looks at the group now, not recognizing three of them.
The group's changed a bit. The goal's still the same, I suppose.
He says, or they say, "Good to hear it. I have been hard at work, along with the rest of the pyre. Things have gotten a bit unpredictable. I'm sure you've heard all about it, though."
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, if you have any more to add.
He says, "Not really. So tell me, what are you doing back here?"
Well, we are sort of passing through, although it seems like maybe there's a chance we'll stick around and help should things get bad here. However, we are sort of on a bit of a urgent. Things have gotten a little bit more urgent recently. We're trying to get in contact with a very powerful wizard. Xerxes, I don't think you... Well, yeah, maybe someone might have met.
Says, "The one you freed from the mirror."
Yes, that one.
Says, "Oh yes, the pyre is familiar with Xerxes. I believe he's returned to the Shadowfell, in fact. I don't know..."
Devaldia, right?
He lowers his voice. "Is that where he is?
Oh,
I'm not privy to all the information on the network. What is he doing in Devaldia?"
I don't know. But we can't seem to reach him through magical means. So...
That's also interesting. I don't know why someone would make themselves unreachable.
Oh, well, he's a very powerful wizard, so...
Is there any chance that he might have been made unreachable by someone else? Do we feel there might be any danger?
It's possible, though Xerxes, from what I understand, is quite powerful.
Yeah, he was the one stuck in the that made the Nightwalker, right? Yeah.
He nods. He says, "Yes, his entrapment in the void is what caused the Nightwalker to form."
Been something that's happened to him, so...
As well, I wish I could help you find him. If you wish, I could inquire. Actually, Elias might be able to help you. He's in New Havisgard right now, but our teleporter or teleportation circle can still be used if you need to go there.
Well, we were hoping for some aid in either knowledge or a guide to how we might enter Devaldia and move about there without attracting any unwanted attention.
Sybil scratches his chin. They kind of consider that a moment. They say, "Well, going in through the circle would be the easiest way to get there, though you'd have to contend with the temple. Do you have a good disguise on hand? They don't like non-shadow elves, that's for certain. You would be questioned by the theocracy if you go in as yourselves. Possibly detained."
Would they... If these circles are in temples, are the people there fairly savvy magic users? Like, would they see through disguises based in magic or invisibility or such?
This is the Church of the Raven Queen monitors the circles. They are fairly adept when it comes to the arcane. I know they have wizards and clerics in their order. Still, I mean, a good disguise or perhaps some magical trickery might be able to get you through. Our people generally travel a bit more quietly. We don't use the teleportation systems. Or if we do, it has to be very particular people who we have planted within the church.
Well, we'd rather not spend months traveling if we can avoid it. So anything
Understood.
that your team can do to aid us in
Says,
disguises would be most welcome. This Church of the Raven Queen, Uslag, are you known to them as you are to these angels, or is that more of an on the down low kind of association?
Civil.
If I remember correctly, I think our group kind of tried to keep a low profile while we were in New Happusgard, and we never really I think
No, yeah, you
we
hadn't.
went to the temple once to help.
You kind of
Xyria.
avoided the church.
Yeah.
But
so-
Civil will
Yeah.
look curiously and say, "You are chosen of the Raven Queen. What does that mean?"
I'm still learning what that means.
Well, I mean the temples, the religious order, is very very devout. I mean, if you can prove that claim, they might give you all sorts of benefits. As long as you don't piss off the political establishment.
I feel like Uslag looks really uncomfortable right now.
Yeah. Politics and religion are not really her area of expertise.
The theocracy will take any opportunity to.
It would certainly not be
yeah.
a low profile for our group if a celebrated servant of the Raven Queen was widely known and welcomed. So that is perhaps it was simply an idea. I was thinking out loud, so to speak, but perhaps we can continue thinking
It is
of
something
ideas.
if you could prove it, it is something you could leverage as long as they don't know you're associated with us.
Do I have a mark on my hand from where Yali did the thing? Or is that just like a temporary
You probably have some sort of mark on you from the resurrection and the binding.
Alright.
I know we didn't really talk much about it, but it could be some kind of like permanent tattoo or something.
Okay, like a little raven somewhere or something.
Yeah, the mark
how'd
of the
that get
raven.
there? Yeah. Alright. If I must, I guess I could prove it, but
Well, it's an
Well,
avenue
it's
anyway, Sybil says.
expecting
Could be.
things.
What about the disguise route? What if we minimal magic, some mundane disguisery, perhaps augmented with magic, but not too overt? What would be the most mundane group of people that would be acceptable to be coming through the circle? Merchants, clergy? Like what disguises would most benefit us?
So before we get too much further, we are like 10 minutes over. So
Oh, damn.
we might want to MVP and wrap here, just because I know people might have stuff they want to do or go to bed.
Yeah. That was a lot this session.
It's a lot of RP.
A lot of shit.
Some revelations.
Guys, I want to do Total War. I want to just, do big army battles now.
We would be the first world that destroyed the capital of Tyvanis. No one's done that yet.
Ooh. Now we have to get
plunge the empire into chaos.
We'd have to get a huge army to get that done.
Oh my god.
Then, if you ever play alt characters, it's just a wasteland. Tyvanis is warring factions.
I was a little bit surprised at how quickly that conversation turned to okay, we're going in and we're burning everything.
Escalated quickly.
I don't think Uslag contributed to that at all.
No, I was thinking
underhand,
Brick killed a guy
assassinations,
with a spear.
maybe.
No, I was already thinking. I was because we talked about going back to rogue halls before, and I was that's I'm interested if I go back as the Avatar Surtur. I think things would be much different with the fire giants now, and now that I was like, well, if you have an army of fire giants that are on your side, you could do quite a lot of damage with that.
I'm sorry, other than Surtur, I'm not sure that any of the people in our party right now actually want to lead an army of fire giants across
a nation.
Well, that's right. That's what I
because
was saying.
They're
Yeah.
not going to just stop at doing what we ask them.
Right.
They're
Neither
gonna
is
wanna-
Carter.
Yeah.
So that's and I was like, it wouldn't make any sense. But then Glenn's like,
Of course
I
Glenn
would do
would.
anything to get my family back. I was like, well, I have a proposition for you.
Well, and I think the other thing is like Estrella is absolutely going to support like us trying to explore avenues to help Glenn's family. But I also like she is 100% entirely dedicated to, as is her god, the god she worships, is also all about acquisition of knowledge, retention of knowledge, experiences, doing stuff you haven't done before. And so this whole night weather thing is not something that she's just going to be like, side quest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Boost log with 2 votes. You are the MVP. Congrats.
Thank you. Gotta start using these.
So.
But I think
Yeah,
that
it will
we
be.
do need to. I think we do need to kind of, what do you call it? Like multitask. Like wherever we're going, whatever we're doing. Like I think we do need to be considering these other paths. Like Blackwater family, Tyvanus politics, Children of Shadow, weapons of Constance. We need to be gathering the information we can and making the contacts we can along the way, no matter what path we're following at any given time. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And looking for opportunities, especially with our silver tongue and other talents in this group. Like, if there's an opportunity, we could certainly pivot.
Right. It's interesting. I think Glenn would have mentioned he mentioned that Akami said he was sent to look into the Splitlanders because of the Foxgloves, I guess, because of their possible involvement in Blackwater's disappearance. Galen Blackwater's disappearance. Did he tell us about that?
Yeah, I told you guys, why, and that it's just in general, you guys were, getting up to stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So she would have corrected that information that they had nothing to do with Blackwater's disappearance, and that it was most likely something to do with his own family. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously, Boothfog's the only one that knows the details of what the Splitlanders did know, but the Splitlanders, I guess it might have been the Foxgloves at the time, but they escorted Blackwater back to Char, and he was going to go see his sister the last they talked to him. He kind of went off and did his own thing. He wasn't staying with the group.
She basically took
And
over
then-
his house and wouldn't let him back in.